Everybody. Oh, these things happen. What are you gonna do? Oh, potential spam. Anyway, we were talking about there's a commercial that was done. I think it was done by Deutsche Telekom where they had this where they talk about how important it is to protect your children in this day and age. And what they have is they go to this they get consent from the parents, and they take imagery from the parents' Instagrams, and they take a picture of their daughter at 9 years old, and then they use generative AI to scale her up to be a teenager, and they build a whole trailer about how terrible that is for her, and it's actually it's super impactful. And what they do is they build this whole movie talking about how if you don't protect your children's image today, what the consequences tomorrow could be. And so it shows these parents going to a movie, and they didn't tell the parents what they were going to do. And before the movie starts, they roll this film, and it says, "Hey, my name is Al," and like, "Hey, mom and dad, it's me. I'm 15 now, and I really wish you would have protected my image because here's all the things that have happened to me because of that." And it shows like people that have, like figuratively, run down her credit score, taken out credit cards in her name, synthesized her voice to call and say, "Mom, I really need you. I need you to come get me. I need you to send me money right now." And then the imagery, and then the porn and everything else that goes along with it. And it's this big push, right, where we're not just talking about protecting kids for what they're doing online, and protecting them by not sending pictures of themselves and sending images or text messages or whatever of themselves across the internet to anybody. It's not just that anymore. It's so much deeper because of AI.
Yeah.
That any pictures of our children that we post online, any pictures can be used to generate a fake image of them. And I joke with with this picture behind me, but I can take any picture right now, and I can jump online, and I can have AI generate a form of that photo that looks. It doesn't look 100% like me. It's pretty funny, I've got a big picture behind me, right? But if you want to see me do it, and me, call me, and I'll show you how it's done. It's not difficult. There's tools that are all available on the internet to do it. And basically, what you do is you go to Midjourney or some of these other tools, and you just say, "Imagine this picture as whatever you want," and so they do that. But there's one that's more driven towards adult-oriented, not safe for work imagery.
Right.
That launched on Reddit and on 4chan, all the the suck of the internet, and you can go in there, and it allows you to model inappropriate images. And so, because like Midjourney and Chat, OpenAI and all those,
they have those
there's
safeguards.
big safeguards on there. But that didn't. You can still use the image for generation, or the AI for image generation. So there's a whole, just as parents, y'all should know, there is a whole group of tools that are out there on the internet that can allow anyone that can take a picture of your kids and post it on there and have them look, model, sound, act, and do anything that someone wants to do. So any picture that you post of your children online today, or any picture that is online and available of your children right now, is susceptible to that. Now, I want you to stop and think about that, because it's super impactful. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of it. I've got pictures of my kids everywhere. But at the same time, I think I'm going to take a lot of that down, because the last thing that I need is for them to be taken advantage of because I wanted to show that we were going to a movie, or I wanted to show that we were going on vacation. It's tough, man.
So my mind just went to a different place, right? Like it went to bullying.
Oh, that's the key thing.
That's going to be like the next thing that,
Dude,
that like kids are going to have to deal with. Is like
my wife
fake
talks about
images.
Yeah, my wife talks about in high school they took someone took a picture of someone and just like superimposed their face on it and then ran copies of it in the Xerox machine.
Right.
And the other kids, and they whoever was doing it, they were doing obviously to be to bully in some way, shape, or form. But now it's so photorealistic.
Right.
That's the scary part for me, is it doesn't take a lot of imagination when it looks so real. And then the other key is the sound. Dude, AI sound generation is coming along a lot. And someone could take this recording of me and drop all these in there, and they could get a pretty decent model of my sound, enough to convince someone who doesn't know that they should be on the lookout for. So there's some key tips here. One is make sure that you obscure your kids' faces whenever you're posting. Two is that always have you know how you have a meeting point when you evacuate homes, like for fire safety. One of the key things is to create a passphrase with your child that only you and that child will know. So that way, if you ever say something like, "Mom, I need you to send me $1,000. I'm in a lot of trouble," make sure you know what that passphrase is. That's something that you don't ever say out loud. So that way there's a check and balance between it. So there's a lot of tips out there, and we can dig into them later. But there's a lot of really crazy stuff that's going on along the lines of people taking advantage of children.
On the sort of the same topic, but not as horrifying as that is. One of the things that the actors, SAG actors, and the studios were arguing about, the studios were actually arguing that what they wanted to do for background actors, to be able to have that person come in, they do a scan of them, and then to be able to pay them for one day's work, yet use that image for eternity, in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to have them on site and anything, but just pay them for one day.
So here's agree and disagree at both at the same time, because here's my thing with that. If I'm a studio, right? If I'm any of these amazing studios that are out there that have incredible graphic artists and everything, here's what it is. Hey, Migs, you can come in and I can scan you and I can shoot you and I can pay you and I can reuse you and whatever, or I can just generate one on AI, and I don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
So would you rather make a little bit of money, or would you rather make no money? You know, they're always hiring for grips, right? Here, go run this tape. You know. I think we're going to reach a point with digital imagery where so much of what we consume is going to be artificially generated. And I mean, I was such a fan of it in the early days, you know, when CGI first popped up, and it's like, man, this is so cool. They got the computer to do all the work, and now that's biting everybody in the butt. And they're like,
right.
What do you need? What do you need a human actor for?
And then I went and watched the movie this weekend that had no CGI in it whatsoever.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's what were we talking about? The cornfield. Was it Christopher Nolan?
It was Christopher Nolan in Interstellar. That whole beginning of the movie
scene
where they're driving the truck through the cornfield. He didn't want to do it. He's a big proponent of not using CGI and doing as much practical.
So he 100 acres or what was it?
Yeah, they bought a field, planted the corn, and then used it for that scene. I mean, it's just one chase scene in the film, and then they sold that. Sold the corn.
500 acres.
They sold the corn for a profit.
Yeah, they made
money on it.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with the plane. The plane and tenant.
The plane and tenant was the same thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's fascinating. Other interesting things. There's I know it's 9:59, right? And
yeah, we started late.
The other things that I want to touch on. One is this is absolutely worth noting. And I think that people of the Rio Grande Valley should take pride in this, because as hilarious it is, it also shows such a sense of community. The goat.
I didn't really read into that.
Oh, God. Did you read about the goat? Yeah. Listen, the Great Goat Hunt of 2023 was happening in Willacy County. Apparently there was a star goat, and we're talking GOAT, a goat. Mm-hmm. A goat got loose and ran off. And what happened in the ensuing days was, let me see if I can see where it's at right now. Willacy County goat. I'm surprised this didn't meme everywhere else. Hold on. There's an update.
The goat has been found.
Good Monday morning to all. Willie the goat is still on the loose. Oh my God. Listen, so if you are anywhere in the Rio Grande Valley, we're holding out hope that Willie will be found today. In the meantime, the story is spreading like wildfire, according to the Willacy County Livestock Show and Fair. Why didn't the goat have a name before it disappeared? Willie is not a pet. He is not someone's show animal. He's a ranch farm goat that normally lives in a pasture. Is Willie a boy or a girl? We've been honest about the fact that we're not really sure. They're not Willie sure. Willie was one of the many rodeo goats in the arena that day, and the herd was a mix of bucks and does. Why did we shut down the cap and finder prize pool donations on Saturday evening? Because the prize pool is amazing, and it was super cool to see it grow to that size. We absolutely love how the story has taken off. It's been covered by every local media outlet. The Associated Press has now picked up on our rodeo goat story, officially putting Willacy County on the map. Willie from Willacy County. I love it. Avid search for missing Texas rodeo goat, bringing residents of a small rural county together. It is the prize list alone. alone is absolutely.
I'm waiting for that PS5.
Is there a PS5 on there too?
I'm waiting for it.
Oh no, there's. But basically, what's happened is every little group that's there, every little store, every corner store, every market, every person, every business owner has chipped in something, from an 18-pack of Coors Light to a shirt that says "I found the goat," to tumblers, to hats, to everything else. It is so cool to watch, and I can't wait for some B-movie documentary to be made about Willie the goat. But it is all over. If you don't know what we're talking about, go look it up online. It's everywhere. Valley Morning Star, The Monitor, everyone has done has done something about it. VTX1 just pledged $1,500 for pin upgrades and repairs at the WCLS rodeo arena. Make sure no more goats get out. Anyway, there's that. Then there's the other. There's the last and final thing, and that's those damn buoys in the river.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Texas Department, the DOJ, Texas or not Texas, the federal DOJ has said that the state of Texas has till Monday to remove them because they are blocking an international waterway and they're blocking the ability to traverse the waterway. And the Army Corps of Engineers did not sign off on it. And it equates to, basically, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, that it equates to, you may live in this house, but you can't put your own lock on that door. And so Texas is saying we have the ability to lock our border however we see fit. And the federal government's going, no, not as long as you're part of the United States, you don't, buddy.
Yeah.
So I have the most amazing shirt that was not here today, and I ordered one because I thought it was so good. And I will wear it next week if it's here. And if you don't know what it is, it's a shirt that says "Push Greg Abbott into the Rio Grande."
Hell yeah!
I think that's so good. They're doing a fundraiser for him at the McAllen Country Club. I may show up wearing that shirt. You know, I may also lose my membership if I do that.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I really want to wear that shirt. There's a company that I found out because of the Willacy County goat fiasco. There is an incredible hat company in George West. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this place?
No.
Dude, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen behind me here because it's really, really cool. Let's see, I forgot what it's called. Hat Company George West. They have these hats, dude. It's called Joe's Hat Company. And I'm going to give a shout out to Joe's Hat Company because Joe's Hat Company makes some of the coolest hats that I've ever seen in the history of the Rio Grande Valley. And, you know, this is a good one. that is a great hat right there. So I'm not going to say that one on there, but these are fantastic. I'm going to show you the one that I got. Allergic to pendejos. That's not on there. Where is it? They have a hat that says Del Hocico.
And those do look like good quality. I've always been told that the stitching on the, is it the brim?
Yeah.
Right. If it has like 6 or more rows, that's like a good quality hat. That's like a way to tell if it's gonna last you a while.
Sancho for hire.
It's like thread counts on Egyptian sheets.
Look at these.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. Like, dude, the Astros, it says Del Hocico haters.
Zoom it in.
That's dope.
It's so good. Look at that. There you go. So Joe's Hat Company out of beautiful George West, Texas. Y'all are definitely getting some love over here. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:05.
Drew in the morning.
Now we're just rambling at this point. Where is it, man? Where's the one that I got? Anyway, it's here somewhere. Dude, so much going on. We didn't go live on the radio. We're still trying to work out some of the kinks on 977. But so coming soon, we'll get
thick AF heifers.
Thick AF heifers.
Mark that. I know who to get it for.
These hats are great. Look. Texas Sunset Oil Field Red Snapback Hat. See? This is the kind of stuff that happens in a small town. George West is a small town.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That whole Jason Aldean thing.
It's a non-truth.
It's just, it's so, like, how do you go back and then where they filmed it? So the two things, right? One is the lyrics itself. Two, where they filmed it at the site of a lynching.
So then,
Like whoever the what's it called, the site director, the scout, the location scout, you're fired.
so I also saw a TikTok this one
Hold on,
woman
that's yeah. But
breaking it down.
But on that scout thing, man, like does Jason Aldean go back to that scout and be like, "Look what you did to my career"?
That's
Like, dude,
you're
seriously?
going off the assumption that he didn't know.
Yeah.
I am. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think you should give people.
You don't think he was like,
don't
you know
think
what? There was a lynching
I don't
here.
think racists deserve benefit of the doubt.
You don't think he was like, dude, there was a lynching here. We should totally.
Oh no,
shoot
I
the
don't
video.
necessarily think that. Maybe to that extent, but I think that he's like, hey, you're fired. You're never. No.
I don't know, man.
No.
I'd be like, I would turn around and be like, dude, you picked a spot, and look at this.
You would.
Yeah, well, I mean,
would.
I wouldn't sing a song that had
yeah.
lyrics that said,
I don't think
we're a
that-
bunch of good old boys.
I don't think the dude after the fact said like, hey, well, I didn't know this, and you're fired.
But it's funny because I was talking to another
because it plays to his crowd.
It does. Well, that was the consensus, was that this isn't going to hurt the people that already listen to him. It's going to empower them, and this is the same argument with tiki torches and all the other stuff. I mean, this empowers the base of people that already follow that direction. But it's still, to me, it's so, when you have something that cuts down the middle like this, do they just not see how this affects a whole other subset of people, and by subset I mean not just one race or one gender or one people or whatever, but everybody that doesn't think like them is looking at this going, I can see that, and they don't use that as, oh shit, maybe they're onto something, maybe that isn't right. They're like, no, this is my town, I don't. This country is in such a weird spot, man.
Yeah.
Such a weird spot. Here's the one that I got. It's dope. Anyway, all right. There. Te lo hocico. Joe's Hat Company. Love it. Love it, Joe. Keep up the good work in George West. Anyway, that's it, man. We can ramble about other stuff.
I saw some lady on TikTok breaking down the video.
Yeah.
Because I guess the other thing was that, oh, hey, this is all news footage and stuff like that.
Shit. I'm late for a conference call. It's 10:08. I got to go. You're right, but I do have to split. I got to call in 2 minutes. Anyway, thanks for listening. Beautiful Monday morning. We'll see you guys next week, or maybe Wednesday. Maybe we'll come in and we'll do a follow-up to this one. Anyway, to the however many people are still listening, I appreciate it. We'll see ya.
Drew in the morning.